Good morning. I think most of you know what that plant is. That is a rosemary plant. Now, I started out with I came back to California in 2014. I was actually basically homeless for a little while. I stayed in someone's trailer on their property up in the mountains for a while until I got a job. Just a little camp trailer in the woods, and I wrote on the blog on that. That was kind of scary at times, all the sounds in the woods, even though I grew up in the woods and raised my kids in the woods. I hadn't been there for a while and be by myself. That was an experience. But anyway, the rosemary kind of reminds me of the woods. I love the mountains and the woods because of the smell. And if you don't have pine, it's a great thing for the holidays because you can cut long sprigs of it and tie them together and decorate, and it makes your house smell kind of like a pine wreath or something. So it's a good, let me see, you're in the light. Would you please go the other direction? Thank you. But anyway, yeah, you can use this for decorating, and that makes everything smell good just like pine. Really cool. My oldest granddaughter came out here and dug a big old deep hole, and we took it out of the pot and planted it in here, and it's done really, really, really well. I just harvested not too long ago, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I made with it that I've got. Okay, I made some rosemary oil, which is wonderful. You can soak your scalp with it, and your hair, soak your hair. It's really good for your hair because rosemary helps your hair to grow. And then I dried some that I can use for cooking and stuff too, because it's really, really good for you. Usually it's so warm here I could come out and cut some fresh rosemary. But in case a freeze or something were to come and cut it back, I will have my dried. Plus it's easier just to have it handy there in the kitchen. So that's a couple of the things, a few things that you can do with rosemary. It's one of those herbs. It's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, a lot of that kind of stuff. It also helps improve digestion, so it's really good in your food. Rosemary goes well with chicken. It improves your digestion, and it's it also supposed to help your memory. I don't know, it's supposed to prevent brain aging. You'd have to eat a lot of it, I think, but you know, little bits of herbs here and there all together. Just if you're not super medical problem, just try to incorporate a lot of herbs into your diet because it's very, very good for you. It's also supposed to help against macular degeneration. That's within your eyes. It repels some bugs too, so they don't like the smell of it, but I do. I think the smell is wonderful. Not real fancy there in my containers. I just wrote on the outside of the paper that wouldn't come off. I don't know why most of your commercial things that you buy, you can't get the paper off unless you just scrub, and then it still leaves sticky stuff all over it. So eventually I'll get that off and clean it off and repurpose it. Probably the one I have the rosemary oil in used to be maple syrup, but after having oil in it, I don't know if I'll keep it for another oil. It's really hard to get it out with that small opening, so I'll probably dump that and use another container. So I like keeping all my containers really, really clean that I put my stuff in so they don't spoil. But anyway, just a few short tips on rosemary that you might not have thought of, and some that you may have or you can share with others. But rosemary is a really good herb, and I wanted to share that for our Herb of the Week. And I hope you all have a healthy, wonderful weekend, and God bless.